James Grande, welcome into the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook live stream here, recording for Wednesday. 7-game main slate here on a Wednesday. We had a little split slate action earlier today, 5 games starting at 3 o'clock. Our morning show covered that one, and we're live here giving you a look at 7-game main slate here tonight. James, man, how we doing?
Happy Wednesday, John, as per tradition. There's good days and there's bad days. John, some days you wake up and you're like, wow, this cup of coffee is really doing the job. And then there's other days where your wife asks for the syrup for your son's waffles and you hand her a coffee creamer, So
those bottles could be confusing.
No. We have the massive coffee creamer box and the skinny Aunt Jemima pancake syrup. So cannot be mixed up for one another.
You don't go like the pure maple syrup, the one that's like $20 a bottle. You go for like the
Aunt Jemima all day, dude. Okay. That's the best syrup of all time.
I spend up. I buy the I buy the $20 bottle of pure Vermont maple syrup up here. Which,
all right, John, you're playing the 27 single. I get it. I'm just playing the I'm playing the $5 single entry. Okay, I understand.
Listen, it's nothing against what you're talking about. A little log cabin of syrup. That's fine, but I felt like as an adult I could afford the finer items, and the finer things is what I got for my Eggo waffles, which I still eat at almost 35 years old. So,
yeah, expensive syrup for your Eggo waffles. Make it make sense, please.
I like it. I like what I like, right? Exactly. So, sure. Last night you liked Taylor Trammell, by the way. You called it out on this very show, the Taylor Trammell home run. There it is, right on cue. Michael Rojas in chat. Shout out to Taylor Trammell. Came in clutch last night. Did hit that 3-run. Oh, not 3 runs. A 3-run? Hit a home run last night. I forget how many.
I think it was. There was a runner or 2 runners on.
Okay, yeah, I knew there was some men on base. Came against my Red Sox here. So we're gonna break down tonight's slate. Just 7 games. Pretty interesting slate though. You have Spencer Strider at the very top here against Texas. Garrett Cole's on the mound going against Toronto without Vladdy Guerrero. Nathan Eovaldi against Atlanta. He's in white hot and now runs into the Braves lineup. Kodai Senga's on this slate, so Corbin Burns, a pretty good mix of name and top talent matchups. So we're going to get into all of that. But James, before we do, why don't we take a look over in Las Vegas? Check out the spreads and the game totals we should be looking at today.
Yeah, so there's nothing that necessarily stands out on the money line. Ty France and the Houston Astros have ballooned from -148 to -170. That's the biggest number on the board. We have Mike Clevenger and the White Sox -140. Jose Ramirez still on bereavement, so he's away from the team. And you and I talked about it extensively. You've talked about it since day one about how bad Cleveland's lineup is. They also lost Josh Naylor last night. John, I don't know if you've taken a look at the Cleveland lineup today. Oh boy, we're gonna have a discussion about one sunshine-looking dude out there in Chicago. -150 on the money line for Spencer Strider in Atlanta. And that's it. Everything else is close to even money, even Garrett Cole against Toronto, but Chris Bassett has been pitching well. When we look at, and oh, by the way, thank gosh we don't have Coors in this slate. I'm just so happy that we get one slate this morning, this afternoon slate. Still live, not going well for me, John.
Probably everyone. Justin May today because he lasted an inning due to elbow injury.
No, I pitched a guy who didn't even make it out of the first inning, and I'll leave it at that. But it's not unless you pitched Ryan Nelson or Luis Medina, or whatever. I was like, I stopped hitting my desk. I was told I hit my desk too much. You've never said anything, so Howard,
I don't really pay attention to much that you do, to be honest with you. We've gone over this numerous times. You're talking, and I'm just nodding while I'm doing something else. Then I just come back and don't really comment on what you just said because I wasn't listening. So
that's also true. That's a fair point. In terms of over-unders, only thing that stands out, once again, it's been the same thing every night, John. Seattle-Boston has just been the outside of course has been the spot
it is again we go to. Very windy in Boston.
Very, very windy in Boston again. 9.5 implied runs there. That has dipped a little bit from the 10 over-under it opened at. And then we have 8.5 in Chicago, Cleveland, Chicago, Houston. But that's it. Nothing else that we really need to take a look at. I'm just going to say this now. There's going to be some ejections as we move on to pitcher in Yankees Blue Jays tonight. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
because of the whole tipping bitches
there
stealing
is
it.
some blood boiling. I mean, the Fatso Blue Jays manager calling someone in the Yankees dugout a Fatso last night. Like, dude, th- there's going to be something going down. I mean, this has been boiled back from Vladdy talking smack last year, the
Yeah.
Yankees talking smack back. Like, I know that's a little off topic, but there's a lot of bad blood boiling in this Yankees
Well,
Toronto.
no Vladdy Guerrero here tonight, which makes it kind of interesting as we go down to the pitching, like you mentioned. Spencer Strider here against Texas. We've talked about Texas being kind of a pesky offense for a lot of the season, but Spencer Strider right now is just another level here, right? I got Simon in the chat said Kirk is a fatso. Kirk is a fatso. That's true.
I know, but that was the Blue Jays manager talking.
Right.
I mean, I thought he was talking to Alek Manoah, but I guess he could have also been talking to Alejandro Kirk.
It's
My
possible.
mistake.
It's
My
possible.
mistake. My mistake.
So, anyways, any worries on Strider here?
I
Shouldn't be,
mean,
right? Should be good.
Toronto's offense is potent, right? 12 strikeouts. Baltimore's offense could be potent. Two runs, 10 strikeouts. Like,
Hilariously
I
enough,
don't
the
know.
one team that actually got to him was the Mets, and that might have been the last time the Mets had homered, right?
Yeah, it might have been, at that point, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Spencer Strider here. I understand that like Texas's offense has been really good, and I even understand if you want to like pivot to Garrett Cole, like if that was the direction you wanted to go up top. But nobody on this slate really has been as consistent in terms of upside as Spencer Strider.
Right.
So give me Strider, give me Cole in a close second because I do think that Blue Jays lineup is a little depressed. Like there is no Vladdy Guerrero.
Right.
They're 3-4-5 tonight, and I don't. We both like Varsho Chapman, but like Brandon Belt is hitting fifth.
Right.
I mean, Varsho strikes out a lot. So does Chapman, and Brandon Belt has been absolutely awful. So
Yeah. And Chapman's been struggling. So
yeah, there is a upside for
Garrett Cole was the guy that
Garrett.
I think I wanted to get to here
Yep.
tonight. At 11-5, I think having the Yankees offense sort of back
Yep.
intact, the Judge there and Rizzo in the lineup tonight, it felt like a good spot. Now I know Bassett, just 9, complete game shutout here against
Yep.
Atlanta in his most recent start. 16 shutout innings his last 2 games here. So certainly pitching really well, but
Yeah.
there's if you're not going to go Garrett Cole here, it just feels like you're putting yourself in tougher spots around.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the optimal approach of tonight's slate is getting to one of Strider or Cole. I
Yep.
don't think like last night you saw what could like you could get off Kershaw. It didn't bite you, right? Like Kershaw weirdly got hit by Minnesota,
Mhm.
and the going down to Christian Javier was the play, and that's what you and I elected to do our
Yeah,
second code on.
unfortunately, Jordan Montgomery just an absolute
True. Just unlucky.
struggle
Yeah, it
bus
was
for
just
for
right.
him last
But
night.
but what I'm saying is like this feels different than last night. Like we had that
Yeah.
entire 9K tier last night where like you could make a case for all these different guys where Strider Cole, two of the highest upside pitchers in all of baseball.
Right. Yep. 100%. Um, moving down from like that top 3 group, right? I mean, Evaldi, if you want to get completely different,
He's been amazing. He's been amazing in his own right. To
right?
be
I
fair,
mean,
he
look at
has
these ground
been,
balls,
dude.
right? 13, 14, and 10 ground ball outs the last 3 starts for him. Almost 2 complete games, 8 and 2/3. Like, why did we pull him? Just couldn't
I mean,
let him
realistically,
get
almost three.
right.
Only three, almost three. I mean, he had 8 innings in the
Yeah.
ace
Old,
start or
old school
the
pitch counts here 113,
right.
107, 113 when guys are barely going 95. Um, Yeah,
That's
look,
because Nolan Ryan's behind home plate. Like, hey, he got one more in him,
right?
guys. Yeah,
And we have what was I gonna say? Dane Dunning last night pitched really well, right?
right.
Like there for a while. So I don't think anybody's playing Nathan Eovaldi today, but he is
No,
pitching just as well. I mean, guys got 240 fantasy point games in the last three. So you
right.
want to be different tonight. I think Eovaldi's there. After that, like, where do you like? What's your peak? France 79, Bassett on the other side. I mean, again, we talked about it. It falls off a cliff to me. I'm not saying it's a homer play, but I might just punt with Brian Bayo. 3 straight good starts. I told you about him against Atlanta, kind of floated it out there. Atlanta, Toronto, Cleveland. 3 good starts in a row. He's given up a home run in every outing. But since he's kind of gotten back together there, he's been serviceable. 17,
Right.
17, and 19. Tanner Houck was pitching really, really well against Seattle, and then the bullpen kind of came in and kind of blew him up there after Cal Raleigh hit a homer early on him. Last night we knew that Pivetta was going to be dog water. Bayo, again, highly touted prospect. I think Bayo at 57 here is worth the look.
So I like Bayo as a punt for sure. I mean, we've talked about Seattle's offense forever.
Yeah,
This year has just not been Seattle's year thus far, and we know things could obviously turn around. I got a list of a couple guys. I think Corbin Burns is in play. He has really turned a corner after getting off to a tough start. 2 earned runs or less, and 6 straight starts, including scoreless outing his last time out. The strikeouts slowly on the rise, so I can get to Corbin Burns 86. Um, I am. I do not think JP France continues to be good. He does not miss bats. He has a sub 1 ERA with a 4.34 expected FIP. The hard hit rate and the soft contact rates are alarming at that for JP France as well. And this has never been a guy, even at like the minor league level, like, yeah, there was big strikeout numbers, but he primarily was a reliever,
right.
or part-time reliever. Like as
Easily the
this
best lineup
year,
he's faced too, right? At Seattle, at Chicago. 2 teams he
right,
faced. So.
right, 2 teams that we just don't think highly of, and now the Cubs leading Chris Morel off, right? Like the Cubs alone have recently called up their best 2 prospects in their system, both in the lineup tonight, and Morel and Matt Mervis.
Yeah, Mervis
Yes,
homer
there's
yesterday.
Yeah, Mervis homer. Like, yes, there's no Bellinger, and I understand that, but like, I'm not sold on JP France. I actually think the Cubs are a little sneaky here, and I know the ground balls have been okay for France, but the thing we worry about Christopher Morel is the strikeouts. JP
Yeah.
France doesn't really strike people out.
Right.
He was in the minor leagues because he was pitching out of as a reliever. Um, I am interested in a couple of other punts, and I want to get your take here, John.
Okay.
Um, I think Bassett is fine if you know, because the price, not because I think that like this is the best matchup, because I do think the Yankees. I mean, look, your own Boston Red Sox truther Jared Carabas said it best on Twitter yesterday. I saw he said like Aaron Judge needed any ammunition
Right.
for a guy who had 62 home runs. Like, you don't, and he's hit 3 home runs in 2 games, right? It's like, yeah, I understand that's scary, but Chris Bassett is coming off back 16 straight scoreless innings, 13 strikeouts over that span, like
Yep.
Atlanta, Pittsburgh in those 2 matchups. But here's the 2 guys I'm very interested in: Matthew Liberatore
Yep.
of the St. Louis Cardinals, who has been a longtime prospect who just hadn't panned out yet, including last year, as early like when he got the call last year, was on Baseball America's Top 100. That was the only publication he was still in the top 100 coming into the year.
Yep.
But he's pitched really well at AAA this year, 11K per 9. And I gotta ask, John, Mike Clevenger, to your point about the Cleveland Guardians offense, there is not only no Jose Ramirez, as I alluded to,
Yep.
there is no Josh Naylor, who came into yesterday's game hitting home runs in 3 straight games. Here is their lineup tonight. Okay, this is the Cleveland Guardian lineup. they're sending out there. Steven Kwan leading off. Ahmed Rosario hitting second. That is normal, right?
Yep.
Andres Jimenez hitting third. Josh Bell hitting fourth. Will Brennan hitting fifth. Tyler Freeman hitting sixth.
I have his rookie card. Does that count?
Brian Rocchio hitting seventh. Mike Zunino hitting eighth. Miles Straw hitting ninth. Give me one player not named Andres Jimenez that you were worried about in that lineup tonight.
Hard for me to do.
I don't see, like, there is obviously a case anytime. They're professional baseball players and they could score 12 runs and we'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. But like, their three hitter is hitting 229 over his last 10 games and 234 on the year. And I understand we think highly of Jimenez, but he hasn't been that guy this year. Their four hitter in Josh Bell is hitting 224 with an OPS less than 700. Their five hitter, Will Brennan, is hitting 207 with a 535 OPS this year. That's their 345. Not one of them with a 700 plus OPS. Mike Clevenger is a terrible human being. He is not all that good of a pitcher anymore.
Right.
Since, like, post injury. If there was a time I'd use Mike Clevenger, it is literally this spot. He is coming off a decent start. He's coming off a few good starts in terms of DFS production. Two of the last three, he's gone for 15 fantasy points or more. And this lineup he's facing is abysmal. And I understand that we might get the 2 strikeout Clevenger because Cleveland really isn't a lineup that strikes out. But that lineup that usually includes Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor is part of that equation, and they don't have those two guys tonight. I have interest in a lot of value plays tonight, and I think
they opened as a minus 108. They're at the minus 140 too. So like,
I just think that there's a lot of things trending in Clevenger's direction and the White Sox direction here. And I actually like Battenfield on the other side. But there's going to be no batting on the field for the Guardians. Nailed it. That was you can't even shake your head. That was a good one.
That was terrible. Absolutely atrocious.
If you guys are listening,
you can play Clevenger if you want. Sure. Again,
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot on his side.
Cleveland's so bad. They're so bad. So yeah, that's fine. I like the Liberatore matchup again as well. St. Louis, it just Corbin Burns is on the other side, right? So they opened. St. Louis opened today as a little bit of an underdog. Now they're a favorite. So the line movement hard in there, but there's it's a lot of risk going down in that group for sure. So
come on, Simon. Come on.
All right, let's go to catcher. Cal Raleig's got all the power. Bayo's giving him at least one home run in every start. So it's $4,700. Cal Raleigh's our top price guy today. We usually like Jonah Heim. Can't imagine we go there against Strider. William Contreras against Liberatore here. If Liberatore continues to struggle at the major league level, could be a spot. Yasmani Grandal against Battenfield hitting 7th tonight. Could certainly be a guy we take a peek at in play. And then we have, Carantini against a lefty. Connor Wong gets Gonzalez, who's been a reverse splits pitcher. So
so I said
has been. Yeah, has been in the past. So Connor Wong versus a lefty there, possibly a guy that is also in play.
Where's Gabriel Moreno when you need him, huh? Like
on the afternoon slate. He didn't even play. He didn't even play on the afternoon slate.
I didn't play in the afternoon slate. I think this position is god awful. You can definitely play Raleigh. The thing about Bayo has been the righties this year. Righties 306 ISO. I know they're hitting 338. Lefties are against Bayo, but like 067 ISO. No power against Bayo from the left side. Mm-hmm. I prefer the righties, which they do have a few good righties on their team. I think if I'm playing anyone, William Contreras definitely makes sense because he hits lefties really well, hitting second. I like Francisco Alvarez. Righties have hit Josh Fleming quite well. 339 WOBA, 290 average against him. So I like getting to Alvarez, and I like Connor Wong, as you mentioned, was a reverse splits pitcher in Marco Gonzalez this year. 342 WOBA to right-handed bats, 182 ISO, allowing a 291 average. So this isn't the same Connor Wong that we had 2 weeks ago, but he's still, still last time he got a hit, it was a home run. So like, he's still
Only a couple of games ago, so
he's still just depositing baseballs. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can get behind all of them. Also, if you're attacking Drew Smiley, Yainer Diaz is a punt catcher, 2,300. He homered the other day when he got a start behind the plate. So
yeah, we got Roth got the Boston wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour blowing out tonight too. So
I mean, the one thing on your front with Bayo is that the ground ball rate for Bayo is so strong.
yeah.
Right,
And he was a strikeout guy in the minors, and he's got okay strikeout upside at times at the major league level. So
62% ground ball rate. Did this year 23% K rate. That's solid.
Yeah.
62% ground ball or 62 ground ball, 24 strikeout. Like only a 24. The problem is 24% fly ball rate. 29.4 home run to fly ball.
He's getting a home run in every start. So
yeah,
doesn't help. First base here. Is this tonight the night that Peter Alonso and the Mets get off the schneid here? Do they?
He homered last night. They got off the schneid a little bit, but like winning, I mean, that seems impossible right now, but just kidding. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Righties do have good success against Josh Fleming. It's been a decent ballpark this year for hitting, which it hasn't in years past. I like Alonso. I like Anthony Rizzo quite a bit if you're not getting Bassett. Lefties have really, really, really hurt Bassett. Right-handed batters, 195 WOBA against Bassett. Lefties, 363 WOBA, 263 ISO. If you're playing Yankees, you want the guys from the left side, and Rizzo's been really, really good lately.
Yep, I like Rizzo. I think Luke Raley is kind of interesting. I want to stack against Senga tonight again, like we did the other day. All of Tampa's expensive though. Josh Lowe's leading off. Brandon Lau's clean up. Rosenreina, Wander. They're all like 5K and above. So to get exposure to the spot, it's expensive, but Senga's so wild, and Tampa feels like a team that could make him pay for that. So I kind of like Tampa tonight. Justin Turner is there at $3,400. He homered yesterday. So if you're going Red Sox stack, he's hitting second tonight at $3,400. Not too bad there. Vaughn's $3,200, super cheap. Anybody else for you?
I mean, if you're not playing Liberatore, Darren Ruff is hitting fourth. It is a good point, Simon. Senga has been great at home. And weirdly, like the split, the walks are just really what's given him all the issues. But when he hasn't walked guys, he's just been really good.
My issue is the opponents. It's not necessarily also Miami, Washington, Colorado. I mean, sure. Okay. I would say that all of the teams he's faced, Tampa's probably the best.
Tampa's, there is statistically or record-wise nobody better. So, yeah. I mean,
sure. But I mean, like, the other good offense he would have faced was San Francisco, and they tagged him. It was on the road.
Right.
I mean, Cincinnati tagged him. He beat Colorado. He didn't even beat Washington. He lost to Washington, but 5 2/3. And he did well against Miami in the second start of the year, and Miami's garbage. So, I don't know. I don't. If he shuts down Tampa Bay tonight, sure, maybe there's merit to the home start, but it's not his home. He's been here for 3 starts, right? Like, I don't know. Like, so I'm not in on Kodai Singh. The walks are atrocious. Happy to see him only walk 1 against Cincy, but he gave him 8 hits and 5 earned. So
there's 2 value plays we should look at. Matt Mervis, 2,300, and then Mark Vientos getting the call for the Mets. Stone Cold Min, 2K, power up the wazoo. I don't know you know, the good thing is you can play him at third, right? Like we don't
Right.
run into the issue where
Can't play Alonso and him. Yeah.
yeah, like you can play both, and that's probably how you get to Alonso because likely your lineup starting Strider or Cole,
Yeah.
right? That's already 11-5 and up. So to get to Alonso, Vientos makes a lot of sense. Doesn't correlate your stack very well.
It's
Um,
okay. On a medium-sized slate, you get a random one-off.
right.
It's fine.
Well, and he has just insane power. Like regardless of like the correlation, the guy
Yeah,
has
need Tommy Pham hitting fifth tonight, and Eduardo Escobar hitting second for the Mets. You have to set Ventos down to eighth. Can't put your good hit. Can't put your good hitters up at the top of the lineup. I know Justin Vreeland may be watching this right now, just putting a hole in his
face
wall
palm, face palm.
every time he sees the lineup come out for
The
the
hole
Mets.
just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, dude. Oh God.
Terrible.
Hopefully he knows someone who can put up some drywall for him.
Yeah. He just has like a poster of Benny Agbayani just kind of
Benny Agbayani.
to cover it up.
Holy cow. Where
Yeah.
did you just pull that one out of?
No, it's on the brain. It's fine. Second base here. I like Lau at 47 again. I'm just going in on Senga. I don't really care. That's my stand of the night.
Lau has been so bad.
I don't care. I don't.
No, yes, you should care. Like you
I don't
can
care.
attack
Hits in
Senga.
hits in 3 straight. He's to go. Double last night, 2 hits. He's fine.
All right, well, I'll play Chris Morel at 41 then.
Yeah, that's fine. Morel's good. Good power. I can play him in the outfield as well.
Yep.
Don't mind that. Taylor Wall, second and short eligible, second and third eligible at $3,800. Owen Miller leading off, $2,400.
He's raking, dude.
He came through last night, man. Like, look at this. What do we got? 10-game hit streak now.
Yeah, he's raking.
So,
shout out Owen Miller.
$2,400, Owen Miller, man.
Hitting 329 in the year. Owen freaking Miller, huh?
You shit on Tyler Freeman here, but 364, 871 OPS.
What a sample he's got going on this year.
Good 3 games. Just saying.
Right.
They've given him the chance. He's performed.
Yeah.
All right. We rattled off a bunch of guys there. Anybody else that you're just like, yes, for sure, him outside of Morel?
I mean, like the Nolan Gorman thing is always interesting. I know Corbin Burns has been good, but like Nolan Gorman is just a guy who can break a slate. He's already hit 2 grand slams, I think, this year. Just can do that. So, he would be the only one in like in a contrarian setting in a tournament if you're playing some type of max. And if you want to go against Mike Clevenger, obviously Jimenez is hitting third tonight, right? Like, sure. I by no means think Clevenger is good because he's not. That's long past him. Lefties have a 217 ISO against him.
We thought about that about Lance Lynn last night too, and then
Lance Lynn,
Lance Lynn at least did have a 10K per 9 going into that game, so
Clevenger's coming off a start with 2 strikeouts. Like
right.
it's I understand the difference of the two. I'm just saying if you were attacking Clevenger because he isn't good, like you could play Jimenez.
Sure. Third base. You mentioned already that the Ventos is third base eligible at min price. 50 miles an hour, wind blowing straight in for in Chicago. So Simon's got it. Simon's got us here.
Simon says,
"Love the weather. Love the Chicago the weather report from Simon here. I think we got this before from him too. Previously when we were talking about not knowing which way the wind direction was there for the stadium.
True, that was Simon. Simon Roth. Simon Roth has it.
All right, so Devers, Riley, Chapman, your top 3. Devers probably ranks first for me in that group.
Yep.
I don't mind Yoan Moncada. I know you laugh at me when I say it, but I don't mind it. It sucks the wind's blowing in Chicago. I kind of like the little White Sox offense here, but maybe they just got a bunch of doubles here tonight. So
yeah, I mean, I don't dislike Moncada. I just always think it's funny. You're like, oh, when's he coming back? Like,
I want to look at he's out forever. So
I know he has been out forever. Yeah, I like Makata.
Wind's blowing in Chicago for the White Sox. Gave us the Wrigley weather last time, I think. Maybe I forget.
Yeah, I think it was Wrigley last time. Also, I'm just gonna say Nolan Arenado's name in case he homers for a 6th straight game. Like that's also in the cards.
He was on the cover of the live stream yesterday, so at least if we got nothing else right for people, we got Nolan Arenado right for people.
Nolan Arenado and Taylor Trammell. Those are our two. I don't know where else I'd go. Like I would take a shot on Eugenio Suarez at $4,300. He's starting to heat up a little bit, hits in 4 or 5 and 3 straight.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Bayo home run like every game, and righties are the ones doing all the damage. So I could see myself getting to Suarez. Again, that game does have the highest implied that game does have the highest implied total on the board.
Mark wants to give us a reason not to play Owen Miller. I got nothing for you, man. I just talked about him. He's $2,400. He's hitting over 300. It's you do an Owen Miller, William Contreras 1-2 dance tonight and move on.
If it's statistically proven, Mark, that if your name is Owen, you're just more likely to have go over. You know, Owen. Oh, yes. You know, we tried. Okay.
You already did one dad joke. You
you missed the second one. I threw a third one in there too.
Even worse.
I already forget what it is, but
even worse.
You know what, John? At your wedding,
would you do? Let's see. Walls is there. Paredes is there. Are you in on Senga? What are we doing? I never really feel like I got your take on this.
I would say I'm neutral on Senga. Like the walks are apparent. Like I'm not using Senga. I'm also not sure if I'm like getting to him per se. So I don't know.
Mark just deleted his DraftKings account after that joke. So
you know what? It'll save you money in the long until next hockey season when the power play boys are front and center.
And then Simon with the O for
nice, Simon. See,
all right.
At least someone
let's go to shortstop then.
I mean, would you play Eduardo
Escobar? Did you even pick a third baseman? Who's your third base guy? Who's your play? Are we going down just to Ventos? Is that what you'll just do there?
I like Suarez at 43. I like Vientos 2K. I kind of like Eduardo Escobar, who has shown signs of life.
What?
Yeah, it's been good. Ish.
Yeah. All right.
Hitting second. I don't know.
You can wear that. You can wear that jersey. That's fine. Shortstop. Wander Franco, Bo Bichette, your top two guys. Lindor versus a lefty and Fleming at 49. Anderson leading off 48. Pena versus lefty 47.
Wander's obviously in play. He's cooled down, but the stolen bases continue to just kind of elevate his.
Senga walks him and then
upside. Steal a bag. That might happen like 3 times. Welcome back, Corey Seager. You get Spencer Strider.
It's great that he's finally back, though.
Yeah, it is good back. It is good to see him back.
Baseball's better with Corey Seager active.
Agreed.
So, and the Rangers are better with Corey Seager active.
Yes, Robbie Grossman hitting second. You know, good for you for holding down the fort for a little bit. I like Pena against a lefty, still hitting well. Stolen bases have kind of cooled off. I kind of like Dansby Swanson. I mentioned the JP France thing. I don't think much of JP France. $4,400. I could get to Swanson. Then it's just kind of going down to some value.
It's true. Durant homered yesterday, but obviously you get Strider here.
Yeah, no thanks. I'd probably just play JP Crawford if I'm playing anyone. I know he didn't have a great game. Still leading off. Lefties are hitting well in terms of average against Brian Bayo, 338, just like no power, but we don't really have to worry about that with JP Crawford. He doesn't hit for power anyway.
Sure. Colton Wong did double last night, by the way. I just want to confirm that. Talked about him being highly considered there. He did go 1 for 4 to double. So anybody who played Colton Wong actually probably got the value out of that.
Now, what do you think of Pablo Reyes for the Red Sox? 6 for his first 14, hitting 7th.
Not a big power guy.
Got caught stealing on his first attempt.
He also pitched him.
He also
Finished the game on the
him.
mound. Threw a 34-mile-an-hour eephus pitch.
Hell yeah. That's fun.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I think we're spending up at shortstop today. Where's McLean when you need him?
On the afternoon slate.
Afternoon slate. All right, outfield here. Talk to me. Where are we? What's your core outfield options for tonight? Obviously, there's a lot of high price plays here. You've mentioned Judge, feeling a little frisky there with Aaron Judge here tonight.
Probably not. I mean, you can, but righties have not been the strong split against Chris Bassett. Like Judge hits everybody, so you can obviously he could just hit 2 home runs again, and it wouldn't be all that surprising. I kind of like Julio Rodriguez 5,300. I know it's been a struggle for him, and he's obviously not lived up to J Rod's season that we were hoping for. Especially those that spent $60 on him in an auction draft.
Who did that?
I have no idea. I think it was Mark, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Imagine pitching Eduardo Rodriguez today. It'd be terrible.
Terrible idea. I like J Rod with the righty splits, the righty struggles for Brian Bayo this year. Again, like we know Julio Rodriguez is better than this. The strikeouts have been horrible. But like 7 stolen bases, we know the power of the speed combination. So I like Rodriguez. I don't really love anything else above 5K. Like you can get to a Rosarena, that's fine. You can get to Jordan, Acuna homers like every day or steals a base he has a stolen base or a home run in 4 straight games and 5 of his last 6. Like he's either stealing a base or hitting a home run. So never going to not tell you to play that guy. But I think if I was picking anyone up here, I'd probably go Julio Rodriguez.
Okay. I don't mind Yoshida as well. He's back on just hitting. So fine by me if you want to go Boston stack here tonight. Again, I'm in on Tampa. So I know Josh Lowe's $4,900. That's if you can make it work in a stack, like I'm fine going there. Verdugo is lefty spot here, but again, Red Sox just kind of roll out who they roll out. Kelenic, 48. Talk about some power maybe against Bayo. Someone's gonna homer probably off of him here tonight. It's a tough spot when you have like a 7-game slate and a lot of good pitching at the top. Takes away, especially when they're in matchups against like the offenses we generally want to use. Evaldi's going up against Atlanta. So you could play Atlanta, but there's a good chance also that Evaldi shuts them down. You have Toronto against Cole, Yankees against Bassett, loosely putting him in that same category here tonight. So you got to kind of pick your spots. And you've mentioned Chicago a few times. So Ian Happ, Chris Morel's all right in this spot here. So I think that could be a play for sure.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I would sit as well. Morel's been awesome, 236 ISO against right-handed pitching, and that's over the last 2 years. 455 ISO in limited sample against righties this year. Again, like there's not a lot of like, if you look at what France has done this year, you're like, oh, why would you be targeting him? Well, you got to look at the expected earned run average or xFIP of 4 runs higher than his current ERA, and his John 156 BABIP. Like these numbers don't like that's not sustainable. That is just for a guy with a 6 strikeout rate.
Yeah,
and a league that bans shifts. Like it's just not sustainable. So I do like the Cubs quite a bit. I think Seiya makes a lot of sense. He's been very good of late, home runs in 2 of his last 3 games and a bunch of doubles at that. You just mentioned Ian Happ, 42. Like he just continues to be very solid. The only problem with Ian Happ is Chris Morel's played like 1/5 of the games
Yeah.
and already has as many home runs as Ian Happ. Like where I feel like Ian Happ was off to such a fast start in the power department and just like sapped. But he is a good player, so like I can get to any of these Cubs really, and that's probably the direction I'm gonna go to. But like we also have Luis Robert, and you and I were like talking about it before we got on. You were like, yeah, he's 3,800. I'm like, oh,
Right. It
I
doesn't
just like didn't even process that he was 3,800
4
because
straight
he's
games to the homer, and he's 30. He's dropping price. He was 42. Now he's 38. So
he started it at 44 and I just don't understand.
yeah,
I just don't understand that.
I don't get it either. So Louis Roberts on the cover of today's show, definitely a guy that we're looking to target in on for sure. I mentioned Rayleigh at first base and playing in the outfield as well. Chas McCormick hitting 6 tonight against Smiley.
Yeah,
Any
that's
interest in
interesting.
Houston? We haven't talked any Houston at all tonight.
Yeah.
That's that Pena, obviously.
Yeah, righties. So like when you look at the splits, it's interesting. And maybe I think we might circle back here, okay? Drew Smiley this year, John. 134 plate appearances for righties has just shut him down. 226 WOBA, 107 ISO. Lefties against Drew Smiley. And oh, by the way, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker hitting third and fourth tonight for Houston. 363 WOBA, 231 ISO. Does that like it's only a 40 at bat sample. Obviously, that's like very small. But Jordan 261 ISO against left-handed pitching. 390 WOBA. Kyle Tucker 325 WOBA against lefties. Is that you like put you on those guys? And to your point, McCormick 400 ISO, 446 WOBA. Like, I don't know. I know righties haven't had success against Smiley, but like, does that maybe interest you for the lefties? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the better power bats in that lineup are from the left side, right? So Jordan and Tucker, as you mentioned, could be a spot for them for sure.
Even if it's like a Jordan one-off, I mean, he's one of the how many best hitters in baseball. He has like hits in like 19 of his last 20
only two
games.
lefties in the lineup tonight are Jordan and Tucker. Pena, Bregman, Abreu, McCormick, Yanier Diaz, Myers, and Hensley in the lineup tonight for Houston.
I don't know. Maybe getting back to Jordan is something I would have interest in with all the hits. But McCormick too, hitting sixth. How well he's hit lefties this year.
Anderson homered last night. He's $3,400. Generally better against the righties, but did homer.
Yep.
Benintendi, I know you hate him, but he's hitting second. It's been okay lately. No power, but 5 doubles.
Yeah.
At 3K. Ref Snyder's in third again because there's a lefty in the lineup.
Oh, it's so funny.
So annoying. You got Ozuna and Rosario down here again if you're going up against Evaldi. Does Trammell homer again? Lefty versus righty on Bayo?
I like the righties better. He has power. He has power or he strikes out. There's like 2 options.
Gavin Sheets homered last night. He's got a Battenfield spot, $2,500.
Yeah, and Battenfield has been worse against lefties, and which is why like I don't love the White Sox as a whole. But to your Moncada point, Moncada hitting lefties really well this year, and Gavin Sheets, we just know for power, like 182 ISO against.
I'll say that super cheap stack going Moncada, Roberts, and Sheets, right? So
yep. Yeah, Luis Robert 278 ISO against righties, Moncada 271, Gavin Sheets 182. Like they're just hitting for just power. I mean, Luis Robert up to 12 home runs because of this recent stretch. We know Gavin Sheets. We're literally playing Gavin Sheets for a home run. Like that is the one reason we play Gavin Sheets.
Yep, and he gave it to us the last time we played him, so it all works.
This is true.
Bowers is min price still, and Trent Taylor's 2,100.
Tyrone, but yeah.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
I always call him Trent. That's like the wide receiver from
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah, both are fine. And our boy Joey Weimer homered last night at min salary.
Sure, he did homer. All right, we got enough time to make a few different lineups here, James. So let's play around with it. Might take us the whole 15 minutes actually, because we it felt like we were split on a few different areas to go.
Want to do a home run call? Want to do a home run call too?
Yeah, let's do a home run call. Give me your home run call.
I will go with Christopher Morel.
Christopher Morel. It's a good one. Chris Morel, home run. I'm gonna go. I'll still just stay on brand. I'll go Yon Moncada.
Okay.
So we'll
I
go
like that.
for my home run call here tonight. All right. So you got Morel, I got Moncada. Pitching. I think we both kind of like Cole here, didn't we?
Yeah, I have no problem getting to either guy.
All right. Who's our SB2?
This is, I think, where we're split because you want to play Bayo. I kind of like the Seattle side more. I get getting to Bayo. I understand he's been pretty good. I also don't feel
I'm
like
fine clicking the Clevenger button. I'm fine with it.
I think we do it.
All right, we got 4K to play. We know we want Robert 3,800.
Yep.
Morel at outfield or second base.
But probably second.
Okay.
That right? Because I don't remember like any other second baseman that we were like really sold on. You like Brandon Lau, but I would rather play Morel there than Brandon Lau. Oh, Owen Miller was Mark's favorite play. If we wanted to play Owen Miller. I was gonna say Moncada at third because that was your call, but like I get the Vientos.
No, I mean, who did we want at first? Could play Vientos right there.
We could.
One off.
We could.
We liked William Contreras here. We can get some money to play with.
Yeah, we have way too much money.
I like Wander.
Yeah, he's fine. Like I'm never gonna.
How's that lineup look for you?
I like it.
One off Jordan.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, lefties have been the Achilles heel of Smiley this year. It's a small sample, but Jordan hits everyone, and he's again has hits in like all but one of his last 20 games or so.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so that's one of our builds here for tonight. We got Garrett Cole, Mike Clevenger, William Contreras, Ventios Miller, Moncada, Franco, Robert Morel, and Jordan here. What would some of the other stacks that you liked here tonight, James? Let's build some stacks up.
So I liked the Cubs contrarian. Both Seattle and Boston are interesting. I just wish Ref Snyder wasn't hitting third. That is really a terrible wrinkle in that stack.
If we go Cubs, we'll do Morel at second. Hap?
Yeah. Mervis at first, hitting sixth, 2,300. So I'm toying with a Cole Strider build right now.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like very feasible. But I started with Mervis Morel Vientos, which is like obviously all rookies. But Luis Robert is 38. Like there's like a lot we can like Francisco Alvarez just to add or Connor Wong 2,700. I have gotten to like a pretty good point here in my build. I
mean, we got
the problem is where we are.
I was sitting here with you said Alvarez, right?
So or Connor Wong. Either one I think works because Connor Wong has power against.
Somehow I have 3 Mets in my lineup now. I don't know.
Somehow.
I don't know when that happened.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Could be.
I mean, that's fair. Well, if you go
shortstop feels like you have to spend up at short though. Not that much though. Owen Miller. What was Owen Miller? What did I have in there? Owen Miller 24. So $4,900 shortstop is where I'm sitting at here. Could just go Tim Anderson. I know he's been terrible, but at least he gives you a 1-3 connection with Robert.
Yeah, I mean Anderson, Pena, or Dansby Swanson would be the 3 I'd go with.
Give yourself a 4 Cubs stack.
Yeah, I mean, that
Probably
is
not bad, right?
incredibly contrarian. The only problem is Swanson this year not hitting righties all that well. Um, there was more power against righties last year for
Yeah, but I mean, we're expecting Francis not to give up strikeouts or not to strike anybody out, right? So we're
he
just
is
looking
not missing bats.
for
I mean, he
balls in play at this point.
yeah, he's not missing bats.
Mark wants to know who the chalk shortstop is. What's our rostership projections look at here?
Let's look at the chalk shortstop for you, Mark. Chalk shortstop of the day. Spencer Strider, by the way, highest rostered player of the slate, followed by JP France. Just to point out the Cubs.
JB France,
Highest,
huh?
yeah, highest rostered shortstop, Ahmed Rosario, Jeremy Pena, and Willie Adames are 1, 2, and 3.
How does that make you feel about Rosario against Clevenger?
Makes me feel great. I'd rather be against the field on that.
Okay.
The Adames thing too is a little surprising. That's just like people banking on Libertari not being good at the major
Stolen
league
base
level
for
still.
Adonis last night. Yeah.
He did. We just know what he does historically against lefties, and it just hasn't been good.
Yeah. Kiki Hernandez versus lefty too. I know you mentioned Red Sox maybe in a contrarian stack. This build right here is 4 Cubs in it. It's Strider, Cole, Alvarez, Mervis, Miller, Ventios, Swanson, Happ, Robert, and Morel. So a lot
With
of
the double spend,
guys to double up on your pitching there. Let's build a Red Sox lineup here quickly too. I'll go Cole. I'll go Bayo.
this is interesting. Like Strider, just to see because we've gotten Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Strider 56% projected rostership. Garrett Cole 16. John,
I'll take I'll take the
that's how you win a tournament, right? Like that's how you win. If Texas gives Strider problems and he doesn't get through 6 innings or 5 innings, and Garrett Cole has 7 innings, 1 run, like could be cooking with gas there. Chris Morel also one of the highest projected owned players of the slate.
Interesting. Where's so Yoshida and Devers, lefties all around for.
I know.
For the Red Sox here tonight.
I mean, their lineup is incredibly interesting because Justin Turner is probably your play at first.
Yeah, that's where I'm going right now. Turner
400. Because
they're getting drawn back to Owen Miller, so cheap.
They're playing dual shortstops tonight in Kike and Pablo Reyes. Like they're the only two. They don't have a second baseman on their roster. And I don't hate Boston. You called them contrarian last night. And they got off to a monster start.
Right. So. I mean, you can roll with Adames here. Go 1, 2, 3 Milwaukee.
I just don't. That just feels so against everything we know of Milwaukee.
He doesn't. But he's on the road. He's facing a lefty. 2 things.
Like that is like. That's like everything.
Hernandez fits it too. You get 4 Boston guys in there though.
1,000 beans left over.
Yeah, 1,000 beans left over. It just feels bad having that much money remaining. Don't need to go Morel every time either.
No, we don't. No, we sure don't. We're 200 off.
There's really not much else at shortstop though. Do we have another value?
This value shortstop is probably J.P. Crawford, but he's against Brian Bayo. That's the problem. Outfielder?
There it is. There's the connection.
Oh, yikes.
Robbie Ref Snyder. And,
shield your eyes at home, kids. Shield your eyes.
Actually, we'll do this.
Yeah, Gavin Sheets is good. I understand Ref Snyder has hit lefties, right? Like I understand.
He does. Yeah. Let's see what his card numbers are against left-handed. Excuse me. Actually, I don't think he was even hitting them well this year. I think it was just last year that he just absolutely dominated lefties. But I'll pull it up quickly. This year against lefties, nope, still this year. 318, 432, 884. And then last year was even more impressive. 359, 594, 1,000 OPS against lefties. So wind blowing out. He's hitting third.
I mean,
I'm going back to it.
if you want to play Rev
I'm going
Snyder,
back to it. You tried to bull me out of it, but it is what it is there. So so that's our handful of lineups here, guys. We're gonna be in the Discord for everybody leading up to roster lock tonight at 7:07 Eastern time. You got the Yankees and the Blue Jays. If you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, you can go see the scroll down at the bottom, or if you're just listening in, you go to fantasyalarm.com/all-pro. Promo code MLB50 will save you 50% off the first 6 months. I think the promo code down there says NFL, but MLB50 works just as well there. Also, I'll do a quick change. There it is. MLB50 saves you 50% off the first 6 months. It's $19.98 a month for those first 6 months. And now we have a 7-day free trial included in that offer there as well. So you try us for 7 days. You'll love us. You'll stick around. You'll get to check out our MLB DFS playbook, which was put out today. Was it
Henry Wilson?
Henry Wilson did the playbook today. So check that out there for everybody. And it covers more than just baseball. You get access to all of our DFS content and paywall content there as well. So NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, MMA, PGA, NASCAR, you name it, we cover it. You get access to it for just under $20 a month for the first 6 months there. That takes you through the first month of the NFL season. So get the NFL season on a discount. Plus, get access to our premium Discord right now. Our guy, Andrew Cooper, revamped the entire Discord. We're running 1 billion best ball drafts right now in Underdog Fantasy, which you can go check out there as well. You got the QR code over on the side. $100, 100% deposit match up to $100 for those who have yet to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. We're doing a ton of fantasy football, best ball drafts with everybody, myself, James Grande, Andrew Cooper, Howard Bender, Britt Flynn, all in there. Kev Tompkins doing these best ball drafts, getting everybody ready for the fantasy football season. So no better time than now to check out and be part of the Fantasy Alarm family. And, of course, the Better Sports Network family as well. You can download the free Better Sports Network app on your iTunes and Google Play Store. You got all the on-demand episodes, access to exclusive contests. You can take part in our Better Cast contest there as well to win some really cool prizes. So that's what we got for you here today. James and I will be back tomorrow morning. A little 4-gamer. Nothing going on in the afternoon. We will not have a live stream Thursday. Just no slates going on really for us to cover. So we'll be back for a full day on Friday. But check us out tomorrow morning, breaking down that early slate with the podcast. You can always find us in Discord. You can always follow us on Twitter